All right, hey, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I got to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who still rule well and who have the 100% truth. Yes, I'll say it again. The elders and apostles and bishops over at Great Millstone have the 100% truth. All right. Shalom to you, Akim, on the highways and byways, week in and week out, who do these lessons as Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai commanded us to do. May Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. All right. It is your brother Dabakia from the Sons of Yasharallah, GMS, Colorado Springs Camp, coming to you again with another live lesson, and I pray that you were edified. Right? No particular title for this evening's lesson. I will just be flowing in the spirit. All right, but before that, as we can see, all hell is breaking loose right now as we speak. All right, you got World War III taking off over in Eurasia, okay, because there's no such thing as the Middle East, as the elder Malcolm out in Chicago always says. All right, you got the small hat gutter rats versus Iran, also known as the Persians. All right, now if you don't know, Israel has been a part of 7 captivities. This will be our 7th captivity underneath Esau, Edom. All right, and if you're familiar with numbers in the scriptures, that number 7 goes into completion. All right, so this will be the final captivity for the children of Israel, starting with you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, there's just a lot going on right now as we speak. You got all type of protests, this and that, but we need to pray that Yahweh Shai doesn't take this Rakah Kodash away from us, and that we can stay focused on this truth. All right, you got bug outs doing whatever the hell they're doing. May Yahweh Shai kill all you bug outs and kill your family and destroy you and your families. Okay, you're not gonna stop this truth, you niggas and you fucking Christians. Facts. But anyway, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, written by our King Solomon, who is Yahweh Shai regenerated, all right, reincarnated, because reincarnation is biblical, whether you can receive that or not. But we're going to get this whole chapter and call it a day. So this is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1. Choose a good reputation over great riches. Being held in high esteem is better than silver or gold. Okay? Having a good name, having a good report is higher than having money and riches, because you don't want to be known as a babbler or a bug out. And unfortunately, that is the case for the majority of you niggas out there, especially you Israelites on social media who think you know it all. You don't know shit. You haven't gathered yourselves around men or like-minded men and been taught. You niggas sit here and just think that because you know the names, all right, Yahweh Shai, that you have the truth, which is not the case at all. Because you'll have the name, but you won't have the doctrine. All right, you're still missing the piece because of your pride. Okay, therefore you'll get known throughout the community as a bug out, straight up. And you and your followers will be known as bug outs, okay? But nonetheless, having a good reputation is way better than having silver and gold. All right? We want to be blameless in this thing of ours. All right? We don't leave that nigga shit and that Keisha thought culture shit outside of the truth. Go to BET for that. Go to MTV for that. Go to Telemundo for that. All right? This is not no sexy red house party. Verse 2. The rich and poor have this in common. The Lord Yahweh made them both. All right? Yahweh Shai set up the rich, and Yahweh Shai also set up the poor. All right. Everything on this earth is done by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Those are the names we call on, and those are the names that you need to fear in these last days. Verse 3. A prudent person foresees dangers and takes precautions. The simplest goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. Okay? We constantly will warn you niggas and the congregation to not follow certain men who are in this truth. But look, you don't want to take heed. You don't want to take heed. Like, I'll give you an example. IUIC, still on the fence about the MOTB, all right, about the RFID micro C-hip. Chief Ephraim, still on the fence about the RFID micro C-hip. But you followers out there, you sheep, want to follow these bug outs, okay? And you don't understand that they're leading you towards your death. In fact, let's go get this word prudent. Let's see what prudent means. We over here at GMS will prove all things, and we go into words. We're not lazy. Prudent, late 14th century. Wise, discerning. Okay? Continuing on. All of this right here. Wisdom, politic, beware. All right? Nonetheless, so right there, to be prudent is to be wise, and is to discern when evil is aware and when people have evil spirits on them, and when you're being led towards evil, disastrous ways. Okay, if you don't think that you have a prudent spirit on you, pray to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, that they give you a prudent spirit. And watch how quick, your life and your discernment changes. Verse 3 again. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. That's what should have happened when you first came into this truth. You should have seen the danger that was on the horizon, okay? Because we have enemies. Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed cracker, is not your friend, all right? Hamite, the real Africans, they're not your friends, okay? Elam, East Indians, they are not your friends, okay? Ishmael, all right, so-called Arabians, they are not your friends, okay? We have enemies. That's how you stay prudent, by constantly observing your surroundings. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions, right? The simpleton, right, goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 4. True humility and fear of the Lord Yahweh leads to riches, honor, and long life. I don't have to break that down. That's just what it is. That word humility goes into humbleness, because you got folks out here who will get on a level and just think they're on a level, think they're higher than everybody, think they're higher than the elders and apostles and etc. The men who taught them the truth. That's off, okay? That cocky spirit is off, all right? That prideful, arrogant spirit is completely off. All right. And if you have that type of spirit, stay away from me. I don't have time for that. All that shit is nigga shit. Like, it is what it is. That's just black culture for you. And I'm not on black culture. We're on Israelite culture. We're taking heed to ourselves and to our doctrine and to this beautiful heritage that Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai has laid out for us in these last days, right? In fact, let's look at that word humility in the etymology. Let's see what humility means. Humility, all right? It is a quality of being humble. That's beautiful, okay? So we have to stay humble in this thing, brothers and sisters out there. No matter how much information we get and how much information we come across, we have to stay humble, all right? It says in the scriptures, the Lord is dealing with a humble and contrite spirit, okay? So let's just take heed to that. Verse 4 again. Proverbs 22 and verse 4. True humility, right? Humbleness and fear of the Lord. Whenever you see Lord in the Bible, that translates to Yahweh, lead to riches, honor, and long life. Right? We're not worried about what's going to happen in the future, because we know that we fear the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, and that he always makes a way. Him, through his only begotten Son, they make a way for their children, for the true worshipers. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 5. Corrupt people walk a thorny, treacherous road. Whoever values life will avoid it. Okay, I pray to avoid treacherous people and corrupt people who have evil intentions. All right, because that keeps me alive. That keeps me safe. When you're in this truth, when you have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you have to move with a certain eloquence to you, with a certain spirit. All right. Yes, we can't be righteous 24/7, but we still need to be separate from this world. Proverbs 22 and verse 6. Direct your children unto the right path, and when they are older,